Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. In today's video we're going to do a full set of nails using these dual forms with polygel. If you have never used dual forms, the idea is that you put the product, polygel in this case, in the mold, in the form, so you can press it onto the nails. This way you won't need a form underneath the nail to create the extension, and you don't need a tip. Let me show you the difference between a dual form and a tip. A dual form is a full cover on the entire nail, and a tip usually has this adhesive area where you can put the glue and you can glue it onto the nail. Then you can press or put the product on there. With a dual form, you're working the other way around. Is this a bit more bendy, if I can compare the plastics together? So the dual form is easier to remove. I saw some videos people using regular tips to create dual forms, but I think it's a bit harder to remove the product. Most of the time the dual forms come in this box, so you have a lot of them, but you can use them more times, more than once. So that's great. That's a great value for your money. So if you just use it on yourself, you can start off with a set of 20 and I think you'll be fine for a long period of time. But there are also bigger boxes on AliExpress. I don't know where I bought mine. I think it is from IBD that I bought them there. I've had them for so long, for around 10 years. I bought them to use them with acrylics. I will do another video on that. Back then I didn't really like it. I thought it was a bit messy and no, I couldn't really work with it. And then I saw the videos on YouTube with the polygel and I was like, okay, this is interesting. Maybe it can work. And I must say, I'm pretty shocked with the results already. I did a set on myself, the one I'm wearing right now. And what's interesting to me is that because the shape is already there in the form itself, and you don't have to work with the actual nail bed, you can really use this as a corrector of the nail shape, because my own nail beds aren't very pretty, and with a nail biter it can be even more of a challenge. And because the shape is already there, it makes them look so nice and clean and even. And one thing you have to keep in mind is because of the shape is already there, sometimes they won't go on the nail perfectly, so they can create a bit of, well, how to put it, the nail bed can be a bit wider than the nail extension itself. But I have not really found this a problem because the optical effect is so good. So yeah, I'm impressed with my own nails, and let's see how the nail biter application goes. I am going to use polygel, but I'm also going to use one finger with young nails gel, because on her young nails always works so perfect, and we wanted to check if you can use a regular gel with a dual form, but also if that would last longer for her. And here you can see what I mean about the nail bed and the extension. They don't really line up. I have not found any trouble yet with how the strength is, but that's something to keep in mind. Now let's start with the prep. I always rely on my cuticle remover from C&D to make sure all the dead tissue on the nail plate is gone. You simply apply this, let it set for a minute or so, and then use a cuticle pusher to scrape everything off. Be very gentle, of course. Metal on the nail, that can be very hard, so use a very gentle touch. You don't need to scrape it. The product, the cuticle remover, will do the hard work for you. Now let's file the nails into shape. I am using a 180 grit banana file. The other side is a just a 100, I think, not 120, but that will be too rough for the natural nail. You will only use that to shorten the acrylics or the gel products. Then I'm going to buff the nails to remove all the shine. Again, use a really gentle touch. You don't want to damage the nails. You just want to rough up the surface a bit, so you are sure that the product will adhere to it. Remove the shine, don't damage the nail. After removing the dust using a manicure brush, I'm applying a pH bond to remove all the oils from the natural nail plate and to make sure that the product sticks there. I prefer using a combination. This is the pH bond from Gelike, and then I'm going in with a gel primer, the Power Bond from IBD. I really love this primer, especially for my polygels and other gels. It works so good. So I don't know what the secret is, but I've tried other primers as well, but this one is really great. So I'm applying this, and I don't need it to be wet before I apply the product, so you can do all 10 fingers. Now the first nail I'm going to try is using a frosted pink sculpture from Young Nails. This is their thickest sculpture gel. It is a bit more cool toned than the concealer pink, but I thought that this would be easier for the dual form to really use a sculpture gel, because the self-leveling aspect of the Young Nails gels, the concealer pink gel, I thought that might be trickier, because then you won't be able to put enough product near the sidewalls. Yeah, I feel this is quite a struggle, to be honest. I don't really use this product a lot because it's really not self-leveling, and that's also not what you want from this product, is a sculpture. I actually tried using some alcohol on there to almost use it like a polygel, but that didn't work. It really influenced the product. It got messy, it got runny, so that didn't do it any good. So I really have to rely on the pressing with this one. Just get enough product on there, and then I'm going to press it onto the nail bed. This is for the pinky, so just let's see how this works by pressing it down. Of course, on the nail bed it will get the right shape, but the free edge, that won't be perfect. And that is something to keep in mind when you use dual forms. If you can really smooth out the surface into the dual form itself, because else you will get a lot of bumps and lumps underneath, and that won't look pretty at all. I'm really trying to press it near the cuticle area, and I'm keeping it down a bit when I'm putting it into the light. So this way I really hope that it is good near the cuticle area. There are some special clips I saw on AliExpress, so if this product seems to be a success, then I think I will order those clips that will make it easier for the curing. So here we go. This is the frosted pink. I wasn't really excited about using this product with the dual form, so I'm going to use the polygel now. I'm using the 025 from Gelike. I did a separate video about this gel. This is not the best Gelike polygel I've used, but I think the color is very pretty. So I really hope that this is not too thick for the lamp to cure. So let's just hope on that. And yeah, I do feel dual forms and Gelike and a polygel is easier. You have more grip, more control. I feel that it's on there better. So I am going to press it down near the cuticle again a bit to make sure that it's not lifting there. But I feel it's a bit easier. If you get a little lump near the cuticle area, don't worry, you can file that off. And I will show you also what you can do if it's really too big. So let's do another nail. And I'm going to use a bit more product, apply it on there, and then I'm using some alcohol to really get it on there. When you are using polygel to really sculpt the nails, I really prefer a slip solution, because I feel that really makes your brush slip over the product, while alcohol gives you control, but not perfect control. We are going to do this nail with another size, so I filed down the pinky and I am going one size up, because I really felt that the previous one didn't really match her nail bed. So we're just experimenting a bit here, see how it works best. And I really think that this one works a bit better. It is less narrow, and maybe it's very subtle to you. Let me show you the difference. This was the previous one, and then here you can see the new one. Yeah, like I said, it's pretty subtle, but in reality it was in real life I could really tell the difference, and I feel this gives her a bit more strength as well. So again, pressing it down, putting it into the light. I am using the lamp from the sun with the battery. The battery is really bad, by the way. I did a video with another battery lamp that was so much better, but I do feel that the sunlight is better in curing. So I still prefer using that one, but if you want to order that one for the battery, don't. I don't think it's that good. Let's do one more nail on camera, scoop out some gel, and this time I'm really going to use a bit too much and show you what happens when you get too much product near the cuticle area. So let's press down the product first into the jewel form. Make sure that the surface is pretty even. You can go in with an e-file. I will show you that later on as well. If you really feel that you need some correcting, try to keep a lot of product out of the cuticle area already, because that will already help you to prevent build up near the cuticle area. And also make sure that there's enough near the side walls. So really try to get this curve in there already. Just follow the curve from the dual form when you apply the product in there, and then you simply press it on there. And I try to start a bit off the cuticle area and then pressing it near the cuticle area. And this is what happens when you press too hard, and a bit of the product will bulk up there. As you can see, there is something there, and what I'm simply doing, I'm using a wooden stick to remove some of the excess. And you don't always have to do this, because you can file it down as well. But when it's really into the cuticle area, you do want to do that, because else it will cause lifting. And then it's better to remove it before curing than after, because it will create an easier lift near the cuticle area. With this one, I made it really thin, start pressing in the middle, and then I'm gliding it towards the cuticle area, and then I'm pressing it near the free edge. This way you have no buildup and it's pressed down super firm. Now let's get to the good part, the filing. When you use jewel forms, the filing is super easy. I am going to file in another nail shape, an almond, but other than that, the surface doesn't need much work. Sometimes a bit near the cuticle area where there can be some buildup. So make sure that it's really nice and even, but the shape is already there. And like I said in the beginning, I really feel that this corrects the nail bed so good. The nails look narrow, the fingers look very long, and yeah, I just love it. So I really hope that this will last, because what I learned from jewel forms is that they don't create the right arch, so they don't have the right strength. And maybe if you create really long nails with it and the nail beds aren't that long by itself, then you can really experience a problem with strength. But then I also feel that you can use this almost as a base layer, and you can come in with a clear gel or another product to create a bit more arch there if you want to, because it's super easy. When the nails are very pretty by themselves and you can use forms or tips to create the desired shape, of course that's perfect, but I never had this amazing shape on a nail biter before. Maybe it's my skills, please tell me if I just need to practice more using forms, but I really feel that with jewel forms you can work around the nail bed shape, so that looks so cool. And sometimes it doesn't really line up, so I will keep you updated if that's a problem as well, but I feel it's not going to be a huge problem. Sometimes you might need to file it a bit more in between surfaces, but yeah, other than that, I think it looks really good. Now I notice that underneath there's a bit of buildup that can happen when you press it down, and I'm going in with my e-file to remove it and to create a really nice C-curve underneath there, because else that nail will look super thick if you would look from it from the side. So if you notice some buildup, try using an e-file. I think if you don't have an e-file, I would not know how to remove it. So jewel forms, I saw a lot of people using it for home use. If you don't have an e-file, make sure that you don't use too much product and that you really smooth it out into the form itself before pressing it down. For the top, I'm just going to use a buffer block to smooth out the surface a bit more, maybe near the cuticle area, using a bit of a rougher file to make sure that the cuticle is flush. But other than that, it doesn't need much work. Then I'm removing the dust using a manicure brush, and I'm applying a gel polish by H&M, the color number 3. It's from the nude collection, so I don't know if they have other number 3s as well. And I'm not using a base layer since there's already a product underneath, and I filed it down a bit, so it should be a good surface to apply the product on right away. And I really like this color. I think it looks a bit brownish because of the cool toned pink that's underneath there, but in reality it looks a bit more purple mauve pink almost. So I really think that by comparison it looks more brownish than it is in reality. So I really prefer H&M, by the way. It's such a good quality. Now I noticed a little hair there, and I also feel that near the side walls there's still a bump I want to remove. I try to do it when there's product on there, but that's not a good idea. So I'm removing the product from this nail with a lint-free wipe and some alcohol, and I'm first filing it down a bit more to make sure that it's okay, because you will notice it, of course, when you apply the gel polish on there. I'm going to apply 2 coats of the H&M color gel polish, and then I'm going to top coat them. I'm going to use the Lovcarrie tempered top coat. I really love that top coat, really guys, it's so good. It stays shiny so long, and I really feel it's tempered, that it's stronger than a regular top coat, and it doesn't influence the color underneath, because that's something I noticed with the gelish top coat, that it gives you a more blue tone to it. So I'm going to leave the ring finger wet with top coat, and then I'm applying some glitter, and I'm sprinkle it on there. I don't know where I got this glitter from. It was from this local store, I think, so there's no brand on there, so I can't tell you which brand it is, but I did notice some very similar looking jars on AliExpress, so I think you can find something that looks like this. It's a combination of gold fine glitters and some multicolored glitters. I think it's really pretty. After applying it, I'm curing it into the light for about 30 seconds. So let's do the same with the other hand. First apply some top coat, again the Lovcarrie one. I mean, look at that brush, that's also so good for the price. I must say AliExpress has gotten so many good products lately. I feel that they really stepped up their game. A few years back that was not the case. There was so much junk on there. But well, maybe I just got lucky lately by ordering things that were generally good. And ooh, I'm keeping the camera off focus deliberately because look at that really nice shine. After curing it, I am going in with the soak off gel. Let's see, the structured gel from Gelish, to really encapsulate that beautiful glitter in there. And I also feel that it does give it an even more shiny effect, almost like a diamond effect, because it really locks that glitters into place. So there we go, the final result. What do you think? I must say I am so impressed with the dual form system. It looks so good right away. So we'll see about strength. I think because the nails aren't that long, we should be safe. But this is my biggest challenge client. She is a nail biter and she'll find anything to rip those nails off. So if it works on her, it works on everyone. So I will keep you updated in the comment section, of course. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you have some tips or tricks to share, please let me know as well, because I love to learn on YouTube. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.